The darkened room smells of old coffee and sweat, the flickering light from a single desk lamp casting jagged shadows across the cluttered space. In the silence, the sound of a phone vibrating on the desk breaks the tension. Its screen lights up with a message notification, an innocuous detail that suddenly feels like a thunderclap. Emma's eyes, narrowed from exhaustion, fixate on the phone. She's been here before. The lies. The secrets. They had woven a fragile thread of trust between her and Josh, one she thought was solid. Her hands hover above the phone, trembling. Could this really be happening? Could everything she thought was true be a lie? Her fingertips graze the glass surface, a cold sweat gathering at her temples. She swallows hard, a thick knot of fear and anger rising in her throat. Her thumb hovers over the message preview, the words, "Hey, babe, when are we meeting tonight?" glaring up at her. For years, Emma had ignored the signs. The late nights, the strange looks, the missed calls. It had all been there, simmering under the surface, but she had turned a blind eye. Now, the truth, as painful as it is, stands before her, wrapped in the form of a simple text. Her breath catches. The room, once a sanctuary, now feels suffocating. Her mind races through every doubt, every conversation, every smile from Josh that now seems hollow. Emma's fingers swipe across the screen, pulling up the conversation. The words blur together as she reads, each one hammering her heart harder. The text is from another woman, someone she's never heard of. "I miss you / can't wait for tonight." Her stomach churns, bile rising in her throat. For the first time, she feels the weight of betrayal not as a thought, but as a heavy, suffocating reality. Her world shatters in that moment. Josh walks in a few minutes later, his voice light, too light. He doesn't know she's seen it. He doesn't know that the mask of normalcy he wears has cracked in front of her, leaving only the hollow space between them. She stands up slowly, the anger and hurt rising like a tide in her chest. This isn't just about a message, it's about everything he's ever said, everything he's ever promised. The man she loved now feels like a stranger. A small part of her wants to confront him right then and there, but something holds her back. A deep, gut-wrenching realization gnaws at her: if she confronts him now, it will end everything. And yet, the thought of staying in this painful limbo is unbearable. A choice looms before her, one that will change everything. Josh sits down across from Emma, his usual charm failing to reach her. He's asking about her day, about the mundane details that now seem irrelevant. Emma's mind is elsewhere, racing through the implications of the texts, but she masks it. She smiles, her lips tight, her heart pounding. She knows she can't expose him yet, not until she has more. The fear of being too vulnerable, too exposed, keeps her playing the game. For now, she acts as if nothing is wrong. But beneath the surface, everything is shifting. The tension between them, the silent war that's been brewing, is palpable now. She doesn't trust him anymore, and the weight of this new reality presses on her chest. Every word, every gesture feels like a lie. The once comfortable familiarity of their life together is now tainted. Her emotions are a storm she's barely keeping at bay, ready to unleash at any moment. The evening wears on in a haze of fake smiles and empty words, but Emma's resolve hardens. She will uncover the truth. She will get the answers she deserves, even if it means destroying everything in the process. This is no longer just about a man, it's about her dignity, her trust, and the future she thought she had. The days that follow are a blur of quiet tension. Emma moves through the motions of life, her smile a mask she wears for the outside world. She goes to work, meets friends, but inside, it's as though she's hollowed out. The discovery of the texts has transformed her. Every interaction with Josh feels like a performance. She's not really there, not truly engaged. Her mind is constantly replaying that moment, the jarring weight of his betrayal pressing down on her chest. Josh, meanwhile, seems oblivious. He carries on with his usual routine, coming and going, as if nothing has changed. He doesn't know that Emma is watching him, studying his every move, waiting for cracks to appear. Every word he speaks, every touch he offers, feels rehearsed, calculated. And yet, she can't shake the nagging feeling that she's walking a thin line, straddling two worlds, one where everything is fine, and the other, where everything is crumbling. She knows she can't keep up the act forever. The anger within her, once a simmering rage, is now a deep, gnawing frustration. She needs answers. She needs closure. But the question lingers, is it worth risking everything to uncover the truth? Or should she let the lie continue, knowing it will slowly poison her from within? Just when Emma begins to think she's surviving, the first ripple of real danger arrives. A new message appears on her phone this time. It's from a different number, a name she doesn't recognize. "I don't want to make things complicated, but I think you deserve to know." The message is cryptic, unsettling, and the implications send a cold shiver down her spine. Could it be someone else who knows? Or is it another message from the same person who's been stringing Josh along? Her fingers hover over the screen, torn between responding and ignoring it. But something within her pushes her forward: curiosity, fear, a need to know the truth, no matter the cost. She opens the message. "Josh has been lying to you. I've seen it firsthand." The words are like a slap to her face, but the sender goes on to offer information, details she doesn't want to know, but feels she must. The offer to meet in person is there, a direct challenge. But she can't do this alone. Emma knows that now. She needs someone who understands the depths of betrayal, someone who isn't afraid to confront the truth. And so, she reaches out to Mara, her best friend, the one person who has always been a steady force in her life. But even as she sends the message, a sense of dread washes over her. Mara has always been loyal, but what if Mara doesn't believe her? What if this is all just her mind spiraling? Mara arrives the next evening, her expression a mixture of concern and curiosity. She sits across from Emma, the room feeling smaller as the weight of the situation presses down on both of them. The truth, now out in the open, feels like a living thing between them. Emma recounts everything: Josh's late nights, the strange messages, the gnawing feeling of betrayal. Mara listens, her face growing darker with each passing word. But as Emma finishes, Mara doesn't say what she expects. "Emma," Mara says softly, "what are you really asking for here? Do you want to know the truth, or are you just trying to punish him?" The question stings, sharp and raw. Emma knows she's been blind to some of her own motivations, but hearing it out loud feels like a slap. The room is silent for a moment, and Emma feels it, her stomach in knots, her heart racing. She's been so focused on Josh, on uncovering the truth, that she's forgotten why it matters. The stakes are rising, and with them comes the cost. She doesn't want to lose everything: her relationship, her trust, her sense of self. But she knows, deep down, that the only way forward is through the pain. And the longer she waits, the deeper the wound will become. The days following Mara's visit blur into a haze. Emma's mind is consumed by the weight of her choices, each step forward feeling more like a descent into an abyss. But nothing prepares her for what comes next. She receives another message, this time with a photo attached. Her fingers tremble as she opens it. The image is of Josh, standing in a park, his arms wrapped around another woman. It's not just any woman. Emma recognizes her. It's someone Josh has spoken about in passing, someone he claimed was just a colleague. The photo shakes her to her core. The woman's face is pressed against Josh's, their bodies close, their expressions far too intimate for just colleagues. The caption beneath the photo sends a chill through her veins: "I'll miss you tonight, babe. Can't wait for our weekend getaway." Emma's vision blurs as tears fill her eyes. The lies have become a web, each thread pulling her deeper into a reality she never wanted to face. She thought she knew Josh, thought she understood him, his loves, his faults, but this is a betrayal beyond comprehension. It's not just the affair. It's everything. The deception, the double life, the intimacy he shared with someone else. The illusion of their life together crumbles before her, and with it, her entire understanding of trust and love. The ground beneath her feels unstable, her entire world shifting into something unrecognizable. For days, Emma does nothing. The photo haunts her every waking moment, replaying in her mind, a constant, suffocating presence. She could confront Josh now, demand answers, but would it matter? Would anything change? She finds herself standing in the park where the photo was taken, the wind brushing her face, the cold air biting at her skin. It's the same park she and Josh used to walk through together. The memories flood back, laughing under the trees, holding hands, promises of forever. Now, it all feels like a lie. Her phone vibrates again. Another message. But this one is different. It's from Josh. His words are pleading, desperate even. "I'm sorry, Emma. I didn't want this. Please, let me explain." She feels a knot in her stomach, the conflict rising within her. She wants to hear him out, to listen, to believe in him again, but part of her knows that she can't unsee the truth. The deception is too deep, the wound too raw. The choice is simple, yet it feels impossible. Forgive him, or walk away. It's a choice that will define everything, her future, her happiness, and her sense of self. But can she trust him again? Can she forgive the man she thought she knew? The decision is made. Emma doesn't respond to Josh's message. She doesn't need his words anymore. The man she thought she loved is gone, replaced by the shadow of lies and betrayal. She realizes, with a sharp, painful clarity, that the love she held onto was nothing more than an illusion. The confrontation happens a few days later, in the same living room where they once shared everything. Emma looks at Josh, her heart heavy with sorrow, but her resolve unwavering. She doesn't shout, doesn't scream. Instead, she simply says, "I know everything." The words are calm, measured, but they hit him like a freight train. Josh's face pales, his mouth opening and closing as if searching for the right words, but none come. Emma knows, in that moment, that it's over. There's no going back. She's no longer the woman she was before the texts, before the lies. She's different now. Stronger, but broken. The man she loved has shattered her, but she's no longer willing to live in the pieces. She turns and walks away from the life they built, leaving behind the past, the hurt, and the man who betrayed her. The days following the confrontation are a whirlwind of emotions. Emma feels like she's walking through a fog, disoriented, uncertain, but resolute. She hasn't spoken to Josh since that fateful evening. His absence in her life feels strange, like a missing limb, but as much as she aches, as much as she wants to slip back into the life they had, she knows she can't. She's made her choice. She's chosen herself. Yet, the pain of letting go isn't as simple as flipping a switch. She's spent years with Josh, building a future, creating memories. Now, those memories feel tainted, stained by the lies. Still, there's a quiet strength in her, something she never knew she had. It's in the way she carries herself now, no longer afraid to be alone, no longer afraid to face the world without him. The house feels different without him in it. The silence is oppressive, yet peaceful. Every corner, every object, every photo holds a memory of a life she no longer recognizes. But she's not the same person she was when she first discovered the betrayal. She's stronger now, more certain of who she is and what she deserves. She's at a crossroads. The future is uncertain, but it's also full of possibility. But with the calm, with the space she's created for herself, comes an undercurrent of anxiety. The world she thought she knew has been shattered, and now she must rebuild it, piece by piece, without him. The inevitable moment arrives. Josh reaches out to her, desperate to fix what he's broken. He asks for another chance, a chance to explain himself, to make things right. The words spill out of him like a river, fast and desperate, but Emma can't bring herself to believe him anymore. He's lost that right. She meets him at the same park where the photo was taken, the place where their love once felt invincible. The air is heavy with tension, the wind rustling the leaves in the trees above. They stand face to face, separated by the distance between them. The park is empty, a fitting backdrop for their final confrontation. "Why did you do it?" Emma asks, her voice steady but low. She's not shouting, not crying. She doesn't need to. The truth is there, hanging between them. Josh tries to explain, to rationalize, but the words fall flat. His guilt is evident, but so is his defensiveness. He says it was a mistake, a moment of weakness. But Emma sees through it now. She sees the pattern, the lies, the repeated betrayals. She's no longer the woman who would have accepted his excuses. She's something more now, something stronger. "I loved you," Josh says, his voice breaking. But Emma doesn't flinch. She's heard it all before. Love isn't enough when it's built on lies. The words hang in the air like a final judgment. There's no going back from here. She doesn't need his apology. She needs her own peace. She turns and walks away, not looking back, knowing she's made the only decision that can heal her. The days after the confrontation are filled with silence. Emma's phone stays quiet, Josh's apologies still hanging in the air like an unanswered question. But Emma doesn't need the closure he's offering. She doesn't need him. What she needs is the courage to let go. But the real sacrifice isn't walking away from Josh. It's the part of herself she has to leave behind. The part that loved without question, that trusted without hesitation. That version of her is gone now, replaced by a woman who knows her worth, who refuses to settle for anything less than honesty and loyalty. As the weeks pass, Emma finds a rhythm. She starts seeing the world differently. The quiet moments, once filled with sorrow, now feel like opportunities for growth. The pain doesn't disappear, but it becomes more manageable, more bearable. She learns that healing isn't about forgetting, it's about moving forward. The final sacrifice is letting go of the future she imagined with Josh. It's the hardest thing she's ever done. But in doing so, she gains something far more valuable, her peace, her independence, and her ability to trust again, this time, in herself. The dust of the past has settled. Emma stands at the threshold of a new chapter, but the air still feels heavy. Josh is a distant memory now, a part of her history she's forced to confront and then let go. There are moments, quiet moments, when she catches herself looking out the window, or sitting at the dinner table, where she feels the weight of his absence. It's not that she misses him. It's the life they could have had, the future they dreamed of together. That is what lingers in her heart like an unfinished sentence. But something inside her has shifted. She no longer feels like she's standing on the edge of a cliff, torn between what was and what could have been. She's standing firmly on her own 2 feet now, carving out a path that doesn't include him. The healing is slow, but it's real. She's learning to live with the scars, learning to wear them as badges of strength, rather than reminders of her weakness. The phone calls, the messages, the constant reminders of the betrayal, they fade. At first, they were suffocating, but now they've become faint echoes. There's a peace in the silence. Emma's smile, once forced, now comes naturally. The weight in her chest has lightened, and for the first time in a long time, she can breathe again. She's starting over. Not with Josh's apologies, but with her own strength. Her journey is far from over, but for the first time in a long while, it feels like the beginning of something new. Weeks pass, and Emma finds herself moving forward with a new sense of purpose. She's reconnected with old friends, rediscovered passions she'd forgotten, and even started a project she'd once put off for years. The world, once small and confined by betrayal, now feels vast and full of potential. She begins to dream again, not of the future with Josh, but of the future she will create on her own. The relationships around her shift as well. She's no longer the woman defined by her past, but a woman who's grown, who's stronger. Her friends notice the change in her, the quiet confidence, the strength that comes from within. They see someone who's healed, who's found her way back to herself. Emma doesn't need anyone else's validation. She's learned that the most important relationship she'll ever have is the one she has with herself. She's no longer afraid of being alone, of facing the world without someone by her side. She realizes now that she's never truly been alone, she's always had herself. Her world is no longer fractured. The pieces have fallen into place, but they're not the same as before. They're better. More authentic. More real. And so, Emma moves forward, her heart no longer burdened by the weight of the past. She doesn't forget what happened. She doesn't erase the scars, but she learns to wear them with pride. They're a part of her story, but they no longer define her. The motif that had followed her throughout this journey, the illusion of love, the discovery of betrayal, the painful, necessary choices, has evolved. No longer a symbol of loss, it has become a symbol of strength. The cracks in her life, once a source of deep pain, are now the places where the light shines through. She's found her equilibrium. It's not perfect, but it's real. The final echo of her past, once loud and overwhelming, is now a distant memory, fading into the background of a new, more vibrant life. Emma is no longer the woman who was shattered by betrayal. She is the woman who rebuilt herself. And in the process, she has found peace.